Hey yo folks, welcome back to your favorite corner of the internet where billion-dollar companies trip over their own shoelaces, rich people build tunnels through cities, and China thought it was a good idea to add projectile batteries because what could be better for our road safety? Well, yeah, that's going to be one of those weeks. Okay, first up we got Stellantis. You know, the car brand that includes a wide buffet of cars like Fiat, Peugeot, Opel, Jeep, Citroën, and basically pretty much any brand you can think of that is kind of irrelevant that you'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot they exist. Well, yeah, surprise, surprise. When you make around like 20 brands worth of cars people aren't really thrilled about and overprice them, well, it's not going to completely go as planned. Perhaps, I don't know what their plan was. And who could have guessed what their solution is? Them guys are shutting down 6 different factories. Yes, 6 factories throughout Europe. Some of them being in Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, France. All of them hitting a pause because of their poor management. Because they've decided, instead of pricing their cars slightly lower because they're truly, most think they're overpriced, me included, they decided, no, let's cut down on making cars. Well, kind of bold strategy, but we'll see. Hoping it pays off for them, only time will tell though. Now, just saying, the factory in Spain alone produces over 5,200 cars. And that's 5,000 cars that could have potentially been bought and crashed by TikTokers. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to think about it. And here's the kicker. Stellantis sales went down by about 8%. And Renault's grew by 6 and Volkswagen's by 3. Renault, bro. That's the company that we all know their cars break down faster than one's New Year's resolutions. Legitimately, when Renault is in front of you, you gotta kind of think about it, think it through. It might be time for a midlife crisis for them at this point, I don't know. And hey, while Europe was panicking about Chinese EVs, you know what China decided to do? It decided to walk in with their plug-in hybrids and say, surprise motherfucker. And China's sales in Europe of their hybrids are up 59% year by year, making it more than Renault's and Audi's sales of EVs combined. Wait, not EVs, plug-in hybrids. Yes, you got it. We've got companies like BYD, MG, Giaco, and no, before you tell me, it's not a K-pop group. It's someone who's selling EVs faster than they can produce them. They probably even got Tesla thinking like, bro, EVs? People are still buying these? Apparently they're still a thing. And you might be thinking of the tariffs because EVs from China, they have up to 47% tariffs. And you know what? But PHEVs, that hybrids, well, they just got 10% tariffs. So China basically was like a speedrunner. Okay, yes, here we've got potential, we got market, we've got something that is untapped. We don't have our profit margins, still humongous. And they were like, you know what? We're speedrunning, we're exploiting the glitch while Europe is still on the tutorial level. Still, they're feeling things out. China was like, bam, boom, ready. Who's not ready? Well, I'm already the final boss. China was like, while you're there doing your tutorials, I'm the final boss, which props to China. But Europe for real gotta intensify on whatever they're doing because soon we're not going to be seeing any more Audis. And as an Audi owner myself, that is kind of sad. I like my Audi, I like my VAG. Meanwhile, Toyota was planning to launch their new Yaris hybrid in Brazil. And now it was planned to be a hit, a cute little SUV, hybrid flex engine, supposed to be a big thing, right? Well, except Mother Nature had slightly different plans as a storm hit Sao Paulo and literally ripped the roof of Toyota's factory. The planet was, okay, convertible, the office. Actually, drone footage shows twisted steel, overturned cars, the works. Well, honestly, it looks like a Michael Bay audition tape. So now that the Cross is delayed, Corolla production is on hold. Well, there's Honda with their WRVs that are like, hey, I'm the shit now. I don't got no delays. Which is pretty interesting. They're still on schedule. Well, but the silver lining of this part, now Toyota can say the Yaris has been tested in extreme open air conditions. Yeah, that joke should have been slightly more cool in my head. I don't know why. Now, Chinese new safety strategy, ejecto baterio. No idea why I said it in an Italian accent. But hey, let's talk safety. Or at least something pretending to be safety. Where if the battery... A Chinese startup tested a system where if the battery catches up on fire, it ejects it. It ejects it like an airbag. Boom! To the side. The only problem being, it's a giant 700-pound fireball. It's just lithium of death flying to your side. But in reality, they've just reinvented a medieval catapult. Legit launching 700 pounds of steel burning lithium into pedestrians. That can't be well. And then the commenters also had a similar reaction. Oh yeah, going 50 miles an hour and it yeeting out a 700-pound weight. What could go wrong? And on top of that, the weight is burning. That was a great idea. Someone else mentioned, imagine driving your motorcycle. Someone else mentioned, imagine driving your motorcycle next to that thing. And well, buddy, you won't be imagining for long. And my personal favorite, I used to be an adventurer until I took a 700-pound battery to the knee. Well, yeah, Skyrim references. They truly don't die. Unlike if you're on a bike next to that thing. But wait, let's not take it at face value, because it might be something more complex than what's first seen to the eye. Because remember, it's Chinese, and China might have strategized, thinking, why import tanks? Why produce tanks when we can, totally legally by the way, put our cars into anywhere, sell them. And when something is needed, war, we just line up a few BYDs and launch batteries. Credit where credit is due. That's a great way to going through enemy territory. You can't deny that. Moving over to Germany, we've got a Porsche Panamera driver, well, driving slightly above 201 kilometers per hour. Precisely, he was going 321 kilometers per hour, which is quite a bit over the speed limit. He turned a family sedan into a guided missile. He was, yes, the battery. I'm better than that. German production, bro. Anyways, and you might be thinking, what's the punishment? Well, an $900 fine and 2 points off your license. And a 3-month driving ban. And probably for a Porsche owner, $900, it should be kind of like pocket change. It's like you confiscating my water. Okay, I'm gonna grab another one. I'm not in Africa. I walked in that joke. I deserve what I'm going to go through. And imagine that. You're risking your life. You're risking the people around you lives. And what you get fined is under the cost of a new iPhone. That's really one perspective on the things. Do you know what the best part is though? German police used a speed enforcement trailer to catch bro. Like, imagine going 320 kilometers an hour and getting dunked on by the cops. That's depressing. Guys, don't remember, stay hydrated. Also, while you're at it, you might as well subscribe. And finally, Wolfgang Porsche. here to the Porsche empire, 82 years old, and apparently allergic to traffic. Well, his mansion in Salzburg sits on a hill with narrow tourist road. And you may ask, what his solution to this is? Well, build a 500-meter private tunnel straight to the city's parking garage. Because why drive with the peasants when you can live like Bruce Wayne? Why Bruce Wayne? Scripting me was on some kind of drugs. A fun part is the city declared it as a public interest. So, fun. It's a private tunnel that only Wolfgang and his family can use, but it's public interest. Yeah, because the public is interested in knowing how much of peasants they are. Also, 19,000 people signed a petition against it, but the council was like, no, we are building this. And the Green Party screamed like, bruv, corruption and whatnot. But genuinely, I don't think there's anything more European than a billionaire sliding a few bucks to the government and building a tunnel as a civic improvement. But when you think about it, traffic jams are for the normal people. When you're rich, you have DLCs. Why stop at traffic? Okay, recapping what we've touched on today. Stellantis are making fewer cars now because apparently no one wants to buy them. Shocker. Chinese hybrids are eating up Europe. Toyota lost one of its factories, and China invented a car-sized flamethrower disguised as a safety feature, while a Porsche driver decided to cosplay as the Flash. And Wolfgang Porsche, well, he's building his own little Batcave thing, his own little tunneling systems, because, bro, if I was on his place, who wouldn't have done it on his place, bro? Who are we lying to? And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below, if you were to build a private tunnel, where would it go to? And see you next time, unless I get hit by a flying battery pack